Good afternoon, guys. I know I hadn't been on in it's been a long time, but I wanted to start. I'm going to try to start doing better about being on live more regularly on Facebook, just to come on and tell y'all things. I see a lot of people are updating what they have done in 2024. And while I don't feel like I've got a whole lot of things to brag about, I do have some things I'm excited about. The first thing is I was listening, I believe I was listening to K-Love the other day, and the man said as a challenge that he was going to read through the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John 12 times during the year of 2025, which means you would read all four of them every month, which probably sounds like a lot, but I think it averages out to about 3 or 4 chapters a day, so that's not something that you can't be doing. And so I started that yesterday. I started in Matthew, and I'm going to try to do it a different way every month. This month I'm going to read straight through, starting with Matthew, and read all the way through. And next month I may read a chapter from each, just to change things up and make sure that I'm getting what I'm supposed to. But I'm excited about that. I did read the Bible through last year. It's the 4th time I've done that, and that is absolutely nothing to brag about, because I know some people that do it every year. But and now that's tough, because you have to stick with it. If you get behind, it's hard to catch up. And but I did. In fact, I was able to push forward a little bit, because I didn't start on January the 1st last year. I had to push a little bit in order to finish by New Year's Eve, so I could be through at the end of the year. So that's one thing that I'm excited about, that I did that, and I'm excited about what I'm going to learn this year by reading the Gospels. Of course, I'll be doing other things as well, reading other things as well. I did not ride my motorcycle last year. I probably rode it maybe a time or two, but not very much. I let other things get in the way. And I love riding my motorcycle, and I know that the Lord has given me that. And so I don't know why I wasn't riding, but there would always be a reason I couldn't. Well, my bike had to be worked on, so some friends of mine looked at it and were able to get it to where it's running. And so last Monday, a group of us from the Greenville area rode down to Stockton, Alabama. I've never been. Round trip of 285 miles. And for me, that was a long trip, because I don't know when I've ridden that long in one setting. It was down in the morning and then back in the afternoon. And I fully expected to not be able to move Tuesday, but I got up and I was fine. I had been trying to build up a little bit, but I'm going to do my best not to let that happen again. I've always felt like God gave me a love of riding motorcycles, and He absolutely gave me the motorcycle that I have. And so I plan to use her. She's not doing any good sitting out in the carport. So have not ridden her every day, but I've tried to ride her at least every other day. And so my new thing is I have helmet hair, and I don't care. And it is today. I've got to get in the shower later and wash it, but I'm enjoying riding. It makes me feel good. I feel like I'm my real person when I do that. And that may not make sense to you, but it does to me. I am the most who I am when I get to ride regularly. So I'm excited about that. And speaking about the group that I rode with, Randy and I, for a long time, while we were real active doing our church services uptown at the coffee shop, because we had services on Sunday night. On Sunday morning, we would visit different churches, and Miss Doris would go with us. And then even after he died, Miss Doris and I continued. Oh, excuse me. Continued to visit different churches. We would go to Union in Horn Orville, which is the church Miss Doris grew up in. And we would go to First Baptist Church. And we would go to South Luverne, which was Miss Doris's, the church she was a member of when she passed away. And we would go to Rutledge to church. And we also, Randy and I had gotten to be friends with Bruce Coker and the folks at Lifeline Church, and they had a riding ministry. And so while we never got a chance to ride with them, we had become friends with them. Well, this last year, one of the, and they do they have small group Bible studies, and Miss Darcy and I have been going to several of them. One of the ones that we went to last year was called Experiencing God, which I had been through before. If you ever get a chance to do that in a group, do that. It's very good. But anyway, one of the final chapters was about what you should do with your home church. And it dawned on me that even though I had the ministry, I did not have what I felt like a home church. And the Lord immediately told me where I was supposed to be. And so, hey, Miss Vivian, how are you? And so I turned around and put a message in to Bruce Coker, who is the pastor at Lifeline. And he has always been very kind to us. And after Randy died, he has been especially good to keep a check on me, make sure things were okay. And so we talked a little bit, and I told him that I felt like that God was leading me to make it official to join Lifeline Church. And of course, we've laughed about it. He said it was about time. He'd been waiting on us. They'd been waiting on me for a while. So I made that official, and it's great. And I think the best part of that, besides having the riding group to go riding with, is that I'm working with children again. I have always loved working with children. And I used to lead Vacation Bible School, and I've taught Sunday school and taught children's church and all that. So I've got an opportunity to work with children again, and I love it. And I've got such a great group of people who want to work. We're all working together. It's very much a team effort. But I'm so excited about that. We have a lot of fun, and we're all learning together. It's been a learning process for all of us because we're trying to get things like they need to be, so as we grow the system, the program will grow with the church. So I'm very excited about that. I'm also helping with the church's website, which that's another one of the things God has gifted me with. So I'm excited about that. But I'm glad to be at home at Lifeline. And hey, Miss Becky, how are you? And so I've enjoying being at Lifeline. A lot of good folks, and they have made me feel right at home. And they were always kind to Miss Doris and I both. And then, of course, Miss Doris got sick toward the end of last year and passed away. And they were kind during all that as well. You just don't know what you miss if you don't have a good church home. And I'm so glad that I have one. So those are the big things that I am bragging on God about for me for this last year. And several years ago, I decided to start choosing a Bible verse for the year. And I've been thinking about it, and I probably should have done this yesterday, but it took me till today. But this year's is going to be Matthew 18:3, and I think it's very appropriate since I'm getting to work and play. Hey, Miss Sylvia, getting to work and play with the kids at church. And the Bible verse is Matthew 18:3. Ooh, I got a lot of folks watching. And it is truly, I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. And that's true of all of us. We all have to be like children, not in, I know you know what I'm talking about. You know, sometimes a person can act like a child because they don't want to do things or they don't want to learn. But the true sense of a child is the wonder as they learn things, and they know they don't know everything. And yes, I believe we do, Becky. The wonder that they as they learn new things, that's one of my favorite things, is to watching children see things for the first time. And I'm blessed this last year that I have got a 2-year-old grandson and a 20-month-old granddaughter. And so I get to see things through their eyes. But anyway, I just want to encourage y'all, if you're, I'm trying to find out the details on this, if there is an official plan for the reading the Gospels 12 times in 2025. And if you are interested, I'll be glad to pass that on. And otherwise, like I said, this month I'm just starting in January. I mean, starting in Matthew and reading all the way through. And next month I'll do it a different way, and the next month I'll do it a different way. But I think you learn a lot when you read the same scripture several times. It tends to show you things that you, if you're paying attention, it shows you things that you haven't seen before. But anyway, I just wanted to come on and tell y'all Happy New Year. I hope y'all have got big plans for this year. I do. And y'all see me out riding my motorcycle, wave, and I'll wave back at you. I love y'all, and I will talk to you sometime in the next day or two.